You're not sinking because you're old. You're not tired because you're weak. Very likely, you're simply breathing the wrong way, and that breath is pulling your whole body down. There's something many people over 60 tell me when they learn to swim. I try really hard, but the more I swim, the more tired I get. And the more tired I get, the more afraid of the water I become. Most of them think the problem is their age, their muscles not being strong anymore, or their legs not having enough power. But the truth is different, very different. In today's video, I want to share with you a very important mechanism in swimming, especially for older adults. Why the way you breathe determines your body position, and ultimately whether you float or sink in the water. Before we continue, leave a comment with the number 1 if you've ever felt extremely tired even when swimming slowly, so I know you're here and listening. When people talk about swimming, they often focus on the arms, the legs, or the stroke technique. But for those over 60, there's something even more important than all of that. Breathing. Not because we're weaker, but because at this age the body is far more sensitive to stress. And breathing is what controls that stress. When you step into the water, your body doesn't think logically. It reacts instinctively. And the first instinct is connected to your head. In the water, the head is the heaviest and most important part. It's like the rudder of a boat. Just a small shift in the rudder and the entire boat changes direction. In swimming, that's astonishingly true. The moment you lift your head to breathe, even for just a few seconds, your body reacts immediately. The head comes up, your center of gravity shifts forward, and as a result, your hips start to sink and your legs drop like an anchor. Many people over 60 say, "My legs are so weak, I keep kicking, but I can't stay afloat." But in reality, the legs aren't weak. They're just trying to save a body position that was already broken, starting from the head. There's another mistake that's even more common: tightening the neck when breathing. When people are afraid of the water, they tend to pull the neck in, tense up the shoulders, and forcefully turn the head just to grab some air. The problem is, when the neck tightens, the back arches. When the back arches, the body is no longer in a straight line. It bends. And water doesn't like bent shapes. The water resists. The body slows down. And you end up using twice the effort just to keep yourself from sinking. After 60, the body can no longer tolerate mistakes the way it could when you were younger. Younger people can tense up and still swim for a while. Older adults can't. The more you tense, the faster you get tired. That's why there's a very simple but extremely important principle in swimming. Where the head goes, the body follows. This isn't just a catchy saying, it's a law of physics. When the head relaxes, the body naturally straightens. When the head is stable, the body is stable. And when the body is stable, you no longer need to fight the water. You start working with it. From the position of the head, let's go a little deeper, into breathing rhythm. Many people think breathing is just about inhaling and exhaling. But for the human body, especially the nervous system, breathing rhythm is a signal of safety or danger. When you hold your breath for too long, the body understands something's wrong. The nervous system switches into stress mode. Muscles tighten. The whole body becomes stiff like a piece of wood. And a stiff body cannot float well in water. On the other hand, when you breathe rapidly, grabbing air in a rush, your heart rate speeds up. The brain starts to panic. Arms and legs lose rhythm. And you feel exhausted even though you haven't swum very far. This is something I see very clearly in older adults. Fatigue doesn't come from swimming too much, but from breathing incorrectly. When you're young, the body can hide its mistakes. But once you pass 60, the body starts telling the truth. Muscles are no longer as elastic as before. The lungs aren't as flexible. And the nervous system is far more sensitive to stress. So if you try to tense up, the body pays the price immediately, with fatigue. But the good news is this: just by breathing correctly, the body will help you. When you breathe evenly, slowly, continuously, especially when you exhale longer than you inhale, something very interesting happens. The nervous system receives a signal of safety. Muscles begin to relax, and when the body relaxes, natural buoyancy increases. You don't need to force yourself to float. You just need to stop fighting the water. This isn't a vague feeling. Science calls it the relaxation response of the parasympathetic nervous system. When breathing is slow and steady, the body shifts into an energy-saving state. And in the water, that is the ideal state. If at this point you suddenly realize, oh, maybe I've been breathing wrong, comment OK right now. Just one word to mark the moment you understood the most important point of today's video. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't need to swim fast. You don't need to swim hard. You just need to breathe correctly and let your body do the rest. Many students over 60 have said to me, for the first time, I feel like the water isn't my enemy anymore. And that moment always begins with the breath. When you stop trying to fight the water and start breathing in rhythm with it, your body remembers something ancient. Humans are born to float. If you feel tired, don't rush to blame your age. Go back to the basics: how you breathe and how you place your head in the water. Just changing those two things can naturally change so many others. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to Vital Health Hub and continue this journey with us, where we learn how to live healthier, slow down, and listen to our bodies a little more each day. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.